So last week we talked about the different kinds of love. We talked about philia, eros, storge, agape. We mentioned philosia, which is the one that speaks about self-love, but we said because we're treating it later, I think that will be the next 2 weeks. Okay, we did not get into it much, but we will. So we didn't get into it, but we talked about the other kinds of love, and some of the fundamental things we said about those forms of love are the fact that they are all driven or inspired by emotional responses. Okay, they are all case specific. For friend, a type for friends, a type for family members, a type for somebody you consider a lover. Okay, and but we said that agape is greater than all of them because the qualities of agape are required or are reflective in every one of those other kinds of love. So while all the other ones are case specific, agape covers everything. Okay, so whether you are loving a friend or a brother or a father or a life partner, you are going to be their qualities, just core qualities of love, all right, are the qualities we are describing as agape. Okay, the God kind of love, which is present in all of these other things that are described as love. One thing we have been establishing from the beginning, since we started all this series, is the fact that don't confuse feelings for love. We have said time and time again that love is not feelings. Even though there are feelings of love, there are feelings of affection and that excitement you feel when you're around that person, okay? But to describe love in itself as a whole, as a feeling, is to reduce it to a tiny little bit of a subset of what it is. Okay, we have said severally, and I like to emphasize this again and again, because what most people have done all their lives, even their parents and grandparents and grandparents, have always believed love to be how you feel, to be a way that you feel, and they have always gone with that feeling as love and taken important life decisions on that feeling. Okay, and when that feeling begins to wane and it's no longer there, they say, I have fallen out of love, or I don't know what to do anymore. We used to be cool, but it's no longer working. Why is that the case? Because the foundation on which that relationship was built was a shaky foundation called feelings. Feelings are not permanent enough to be the base of your relationship. Okay, so we try to give 5 reasons why agape is greater than all the other forms of love. We said because it's not controlled by feelings, rather it superimposes its own kind of feelings. It's not affected by negative feelings. Times where you should respond in anger to people who offend you. Agape empowers you to say, okay, I won't respond like that. I would forgive. I would let it slide. All right, I will give the person a long rope. That's not natural. That's not easy. That's not typical of your response. But that is what agape inspires you to do. All right. We also said that it's not motivated by self-gratification. It's not based on what you want to get from that person or how it benefits you. We gave the story from the Bible of the Good Samaritan in Luke chapter 10. All right, from 25 to 37, how he was going on his own journey. He met somebody else who had been attacked by bandits. That person had no relationship with him, no connection with him, but he went out of his way to ensure that that person was well taken care of. All right, even paid advance, made deposit for future bill, in case the person needs, there's more expense in his treatment. That's an example of love. It's not motivated by any self-gratification. Okay, it's always looking at the good of the other person. Okay, it's more concerned about the good of the other person than itself. Okay, and we made reference to Philippians chapter 2 verse 3 and 4, where the Bible says, do nothing out of selfish ambition. Instead, consider the other person more important than yourself. Are you seeing where this is going now? Consider the other person more highly than yourself. Okay, don't look on your own interests, but on the interests of others. You see, now this is a challenge to the typical natural man. All right, but as I continue today, I will share on that. Okay, 2 more things we said about why agape is different from the other forms of love. Okay, we said it's unconditional, and then the other ones are case specific, but agape trumps them all. There is agape in all of those other kinds of expressions of love. All right, so it is greater than all of them, because the qualities of the God kind of love is what drives sustainable and genuine friendships and commitment to people. All right, so I'll be jumping straight into today's talk. We are continuing from there, but what I'm excited about today is that we're going to pick those qualities of love and talk about them and try to make them practical as much as we can. All right. Someone has told me before that I speak too fast, but I'm going to try. All right, to take it easy so that we can glide together. Okay. So let me remind us of the definitions I have given about what love is, what love in its purest form is. I said it's a decision based on a commitment to add value to somebody else's life for the rest of your life, even if you're not getting rewarded for that. A decision based on a commitment. In other words, I want to be a part of this person's life, not just because of how he or she makes me feel, but also because of what I can be and do for them. All right, and you're willing to do this whether or not the person is paying you back or appreciates it per se. All right, you're willing to go out of your way. Now, why this is important is because it shows you the broader scope of love. Love is not only what you talk about when you're tripping for a guy or a girl. Love is not only what you talk about when you want to get married to somebody. It shows you that there is a broader scope. Love cuts across how you relate with the entire world, how you relate with every other person around you. And I remember quoting a part of Proverbs last week, where it said that the righteous man cares for the needs of his animal. He's kind to his animal. He's kind to his animal. That tells you it is something that comes from within. It is how you are. It is how you live your life. You don't try to do it as per mechanically. If you do that, you won't be able to sustain it when push comes to shove. All right. So that is what we're talking about. So I said that it's a decision based on a commitment to add value to someone else's life for the rest of your life, even if you're not getting a thank you for it. Another definition I'll love to mention here is that it is the willful, deliberate, and intentional lifelong commitment to the well-being of someone else. Willful, take note of those words. Willful, deliberate, intentional, lifelong commitment to the well-being of someone else. Wow, this is why we tell you it does not rely on feelings, because guess what? Many times those feelings will not be there. Many times the feelings you would have are the ones that irritate you, are the ones that tell you that you are tired of this person, you're done with this person is so annoying, it's not making any progress, it's stressing my life. Many times those are the feelings you will have in a true marital relationship. But guess what? What makes you stay there is not just what you are getting, but that you have made a decision that yes, there were other qualities I checked out in this person, qualities that mattered to my spirit, soul, body, and I am convinced that he or she is the one. Therefore, despite the fact that this person is annoying me right now, I will pay attention to the other weightier matters, the other more important qualities that I found in this person that made me say I want to get in a marital relationship with him or her. When you recall those qualities, you would know that you would find the strength to endure some of the things you need to endure while hoping that this person gets better. Now, that is because it's a process. It's a process. Okay, many people don't stay in love in their relationships because they expect a finished product. They expect an already made material. They expect that this guy is perfect. He does everything, on point. And there's no human being like that. No matter how good they look out there, you would find something that would piss you off with time. Have you not seen people who got married to the supermodels, to the finest people, to the richest people? Have you not seen that over time, some of those kind of people still went through divorces? So the point is, it is not about cuteness or the wealth or anything external. There are other qualities that go deeper than just how you feel. That is also why we tell people that it's not possible to love two different people at this frequency. No, it's not. You'll be stressing yourself emotionally. There's a lot of openness and vulnerability you're giving to this person you have chosen to love. Take note of my words, chosen. Okay, that's why I say it's willful, it's deliberate. It doesn't happen on you. Listen to me, if what you have been experiencing is just that love that swept you off your feet and you couldn't help yourself, let me tell you in advance, if you are not yet married, you still have time to coordinate your emotions and try to see things clearly. Alright? If not, you may just get yourself more and more roped in that illusion and that infatuation like we have treated in the month of February, and that obsession, that lust, that codependency. You might just find yourself roped in that, and the more you continue every day, the further and farther you go in being roped in that confusion that you call love. And it's a matter of time, it's a matter of time you would just find that I'm struggling here, it's not working. Expectations are not being met. Someone has asked me before, are you saying there is a way to love? And I said, yes, there is a way. And that way is conscious. It's deliberate. A lot of guys have not yet settled for who they want to marry yet because they are waiting for the perfect one. This one is good, she's fine, she can cook, she can greet, she's polite, but her leg, there's how her leg is. I don't like the leg. Okay, you wait for the next one. This one has straight leg, has big buttocks. Oh, she's good for the pictures, good for the gram. But she's quick-tempered though. Small thing says she could just say vex. You drop that one. They keep looking for 100% wife material. It does not exist. You need to know the more important qualities. And I've said this severally if you go through our past sessions. The quality of spirit and soul. You're looking at character. You can't trade that for anything. Don't confuse yourself with butterflies in your tummy. Alright? Don't confuse yourself with that. You're looking for character. If you're a Christian, you're looking for somebody who also shares the same level of belief system about your faith, about your relationship with God. Not somebody who will question why you're doing certain Christian practices you're doing. You say, I want to go to church during the week. He tells you when you're not there on Sunday. What's this one you are going to church every time? Church. What's that? You don't want that kind of person. Simply because you met him in church. You say he's a Christian. I say this over and over again. The church is not a place for Christians. It's like a hospital. Everybody goes to church. If you think that because you meet somebody in church, he's a Christian, again, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak. Take it easy. The fact that he lifts up his hands when it's time to praise and worship, or he dances very well, or he even speaks in tongues, he says he's a spiritual brother. Calm down, everybody's in church, including devil's children. Alright? So don't be moved by all of those things. And this is why we exalt the place of conversation in your relationship, or when you start tripping for that person. I've said this again and again. It's okay to be attracted to somebody who's hot and dapper. It's okay. There's not yet a crime there. Where there's a crime is if you base your conclusions already on just those external things. If the person is lovely and is the kind of similitude you would want to associate with, there is no problem in being friends with that person. There's no problem with hanging out and what people call dating, which I believe, should be that stage of conversations without romantic involvement. All right, without romantic involvement, no kissing, no smooshing, no having sex. We're talking, we're watching movies, we're gisting, we're sitting in the park, where we can hug. Yes, that's fine, but we don't push it. We don't start getting emotionally involved. No, that's risky, because at that point you're going to affect your reasoning. You're going to cloud your thinking process. You're going to corrupt, as it were, contaminate your thinking process. You won't be able to see things as they are anymore. You'll start seeing things from the eyes of feelings and those nice romantic moments and fantasies, and you'll start overlooking qualities that you should not have overlooked. Okay, so I was saying that there's absolutely no harm when you see that person who you're attracted to and you go for the person. But going for the person means you're going to start having conversations. You're not making no commitments yet. It's conversations. Why? Because you're checking them out spiritually, mentally. What kind of person is he? What kind of person is she? Do you understand? You want to be sure that your values and their values align. Okay, very key. You might see people who you think you like, but when you start talking with them, you discover that both of you are not going the same direction. That is the importance of conversation, non-sexual, hangouts and friendships. When you start discussing with them, you would see it. And I'm not talking about an interview session where you tell the person, okay, now let us discuss what are your values. Okay, my own is hard work, fear of God, integrity. What is your own? That's not what we're doing. It's not jam question. It's not interview. You just discuss. You guys drive around town. You would see his or her response. You will see how they respond to people. You'll pay attention to their mannerisms, to their gestures, to their courtesies, their etiquettes. You pay attention to all of those things. Occasionally, you throw a particular conversation around the subject matter. You want to know what they think. You want to know what they think about family. You want to have an idea what their home looks like, where they came out from, what their mindset is about love. You want to know what they think about sex before marriage. You want to know all of that. Why? So that you are telling yourself, should I bother taking this friendship to the next level or not? That's what's happening at that stage. And guess what? When you discuss with them to some point, you would know by yourself whether or not this person has a chance to be taken to another level. You will know it. If you don't know it, then the big problem is with you, because you don't even know who you are or what you want. And that's what these sessions are about. We actually want to help you. Most times I hear people telling me things like, help me get a partner. And I'm saying, no, before we do that, let's talk about you. Have you healed from your past emotional experiences? Have you healed from the hurts of your past? Have you healed from the kind of environment you grew up in? Do you have a different concept of what a healthy home looks like and a healthy relationship? Are you about to just extend the sufferings and the terrible experiences you had in your childhood? Are you about to just extend it and press repeat for somebody else? Are you about to replay all of those experiences? If you did not grow up in a home where there was love and oneness and togetherness, don't be quick to be running into relationships. What you want to do first is to get a grip on yourself and find out who you are and find out what true love really is and how to show this love. If you're the kind of person who you've noticed that you're always by yourself, you're easily irritable, you get angry quickly, you don't have friends, and you're single, it's about time you want to be telling yourself, hey, I've been like this all these years and it's not helping me. I think I need to do something differently. I have seen people who used to have very nasty characters change over time. Yes, it's possible. You get to that point of realization by yourself and you make a decision to be a changed and a different and a better person. It can happen. It happens a lot. But what happens many times, people don't realize, they don't get to that point where they realize that, hey, this thing I'm doing has not been working for me. I need to change tactics. Albert Einstein said you cannot solve a problem with the same kind of thinking that created that problem in the first place. Very, very key. Okay, so I was saying something about the qualities of love, and we ended with saying that, in 1 John 4 verse 8, it says those that cannot love don't know God. Why? Because God is love. God is love. Love is God. Okay, and next week I will share with you about those qualities. I'll talk about the qualities of love right now, okay, and how you can extend it towards one another, whether in relationship or not. But more so, I will now show us from the God end how God demonstrated his love towards us and how he still demonstrates his love towards us, and you will understand what we mean when we're talking about the God kind of love. All right, now you need to know this. We have said time and time again that as a human being, the real person here is not you, it's not your body, it's not your flesh. This flesh is the container that makes you that makes it legal for you to operate on earth. The real you is inside, is the spirit, which nobody can see. All right, the real you is spirit. All right, and I just feel like extending this a little bit more. When people feel challenged physically, that challenge is only outward, it's not inwards. Your spirit is whole. The real you is whole. You are whole. You are complete. You are powerful. God made you that way. Don't limit yourself by any shortcomings you experience in your life, or experiences that are negative, or things that don't add up. Don't describe yourself like that. No, you are complete. You are whole. You are a powerful being, and you need to know that. I just thought to say that there. Now, why I talked about this is that the human spirit, okay, that's that real you, is either controlled by the flesh or by the spirit. In other words, it's either controlled by God or by your own fleshy desires. All right, and when we look at the Bible, don't forget in the Single and Ready Club, we have said over and over again that the Word of God is our final reference. It's the basis for our truth. So we would always fall back there to say, okay, what did the Bible say about this or that? Okay, and it's where we draw our reference, or we draw our wisdom from. So I would always refer to it. All right, now the Bible was describing what the qualities of the flesh are and what the qualities of the spirit are. But before then, he went on to say that these two don't align, they don't agree. There's always a conflict between them. Why am I saying this? Because sometimes people try to be good, but it doesn't last, it doesn't work. They try. I'm going to stop insulting people. I'm not, if somebody annoys me, I'm not going to hit back at them. I will just let it slide. They try, but it doesn't last. You do 1, 2, by the third one, you've lost it. That is because the nature that is inside of you has its own longings and its tendencies and its propensities. All right, that nature is what makes you act in a particular way. There is another nature that empowers you to act in a peaceful and loving way. That is the one we call the nature of God, okay, different from the nature of the flesh. So let me read something in the Bible. Galatians chapter 5 from 19. It says the acts of the flesh are this: sexual immorality, all right, impurity, debauchery. Now you see it's listing them, and this just makes it clear that when somebody is coming after you and all they're coming for is sex, it gives you an idea of what the person's operating system is. Or even you yourself, if all you are thinking of when you see the member of the opposite sex is sex, I want to get down with this guy, I want to get down with this girl, then it shows that, hey, you need to do some OS reformatting, because there's a better way to it, especially if you're a Christian. Okay, I know there are people who are not Christians, so no problem. But if you're a Christian, what I'm saying is you need to know that you need to change this kind of thinking by empowering your spirit, by empowering the other qualities, which I'm coming to very quickly. In the New Living Translation, it says, when you follow the desires of your sinful nature, that's what it calls the flesh, The results are clear: sexual immorality, impurity, lustful pleasures. Lust, you just sit down there and you're lusting about what is not your own and what you cannot have. All right, idolatry, sorcery, hostility, quarreling, jealousy. You see all of these things and you say, that's just how I am. You don't know that there's something working you. Hostility, you are very hostile. You don't know how to be friendly towards people. You don't know how to be polite towards people. You say, that's just how I am. There's something working you, but you didn't know. Okay, it's called the works of the flesh. All right, jealousy, quarreling. Some people can quarrel for Africa. In fact, if they don't have their own problem and you have your own, they can come borrow your own, help you quarrel it, to the latter. They quarrel. That's their talent. Please, if you're like that, you need to do better. The Bible describes that as a work of the flesh. You are being led by the devil. That's what it means. Okay? Outbursts of anger. You say, I can't control myself. Once my fuse is very, you see, I have a short fuse, and once it goes off, I just take it out on the person. It says the work of the flesh, selfish ambition. You see, now the point is, it mentioned other things: envy, drunkenness, wild partying. All right. Now, why am I making reference to that? Because I'm trying to let you know that there are certain things you may be struggling with, but the challenge is that it is the nature, it is what is running you, what is working you. That is the operating system you're working with. And it will only produce its fruits. You see? But those fruits are different from the fruit of the Spirit. So now I'm going to read what the fruit of the Spirit is, and then you will see how those qualities are describing God. It says, but the fruit of the Spirit, Galatians 5 verse 22 and 23a, the fruit of the Spirit is love. You see what we're talking about? And take note, it didn't say the fruits of the Spirit are, meaning that is mentioning different things. It is singular. The fruit, singular, is singular. The fruit of the Spirit is, and then it begins to explain: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Are you seeing this? Now, depending on the version you're using, but you may notice that word Spirit was used with a capital S. In other words, it was describing the Spirit of God, not the human spirit. So you see that these qualities are different from what it just described as the works of the flesh. But guess what? The normal you in your normal state, before you have an encounter with Jesus Christ and make him the Lord of your life, the normal you is operating in the realm of the flesh. That is why some of those tendencies and desires are just there. You did not look for them sometimes. You just found them there. Because they show up at every little instance and every little trigger. They just show up. You see a beautiful girl on the TV and you start lusting after her. You see a girl dressed in a particular way walk past you, you start lusting. It's a trigger because that is what is inside. Alright? Let me go on. There's a way the Amplified Version puts it. It says, but the fruit of the Spirit, and then it went further to explain what that means. It says, the result of His presence working in you. The result of His presence working in you. It goes on to explain what it does. It is love. It produces love. Unselfish concern for others. Are you seeing it now? You see where I got those definitions from? Unselfish concern for others. It says then joy. That's inner peace. You are genuinely filled with hope and excitement even for other people. Some people are only excited when it is their good. When it is someone else's good, they get jealous. They get envious. They start wondering, but me too, I've been trying it since. Why did mine not work? What's making hers to work? What makes her any better? What makes him any better than me? You see what I'm saying now? That is jealousy. It's a fruit of the flesh. Alright? So see, it goes on. It says patience. Not only the ability to wait, but how we act while waiting. And then it goes on to say kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. You see self-control there? That is why I tell you that when anybody is saying that when you are in love, you cannot control yourself, then it is not love. Because when we saw the qualities of the flesh just now, one of the things we saw there was outbursts, lack of self-control. But when you have self-control, then that is a quality of love. I hope you guys are seeing this. So love is it's more than those excitement you feel. It's more than the attraction. It's a lot more than that. It's more conscientious. It's more deliberate. It's more intentional. That's exactly what it is. It's intentional. All right. So let me read on very quickly. Again, I'm about to read somewhere that now gives us these qualities of what the fruit of the Spirit is. This love. What is love? All right. And in 1 Corinthians 13 from verse 4, I'm going to read through what love is, and this is where I will end it today, because I will stay on these points and try to expatiate on them and show you how they relate with your situation, generally in your relationships with everybody, and then particularly in your relationship with your spouse or wannabe spouse. All right. Don't forget, I've always said that it is the quality of person you are that you take into your relationship. If you are not kind to other people, you will not be kind to your partner. You will try for a bit, but you will struggle. If you have not been forgiving to other people, you will not forgive your partner. You may try once or twice, but when it gets to a level, you will take it out on the person. That is why you need to understand these things. It helps the quality of your person, the quality of your life, not just the quality of your romance. No, the quality of your life generally, because that is what you're taking into a relationship. Okay, so in 1 Corinthians 13 from verse 4, it reads, love is patient. Patient. Kind. I will read through it, then I'll start explaining them one after the other. Kind. Does not envy. Does not boast. It is not proud. You meet some people, and when you see their pride, you oh my God, it's so repulsive. So repulsive. All right. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. I'm coming to all of these. It is not easily angered. Oh my God. And there are still people who pride themselves in how quickly they get angry. How quickly. Me, I know myself. I don't take any nonsense. If you just do anyhow, you will just see anyhow. And you are priding yourself. If you are that kind of person, yes, you will have challenges in your relationship, because you will see anyhow in that relationship. He will do anyhow. Yes, she will do anyhow. It's a human thing. It will happen. Do you understand? It will happen. All right. So let me go on in reading these qualities. It says that it doesn't keep record of wrongs. Let me not get ahead of myself, because I'm going to explain them one after the other. Maybe I should just start explaining it already, because I know the way this to run. Before I blink my eyes now, I see that it's already time up. So let me just explain them straight away. Now, what is patience? What is patience? Patience is the capacity. Now, I'm using some general English definition, because these are English words, right? Yeah, they are virtues, so you can learn about them by studying them. Patience is the capacity to accept or tolerate delay. So something is not happening when and how and the way you want it to happen, but you can manage your emotion through that process. Are you seeing this? You can coordinate yourself through that process. It's not happening the way you want it to happen. It's not going the way you want it to go, but you can coordinate yourself. So you have the capacity to accept that delay and to tolerate it. Delay, problems, or suffering without becoming annoyed or anxious. So take note of this. I've said this before, that patience is not just waiting, but more importantly, your attitude while you're waiting. That's what makes the difference. Some people will wait for you, but they will nag you for a lifetime for having to wait for you. Some people will wait for you, but they would make sure you see hell for that gesture of theirs. But not so for somebody who has the quality of love. You would not take it out on the person. Yes, you would. I'm not saying you will not be able to communicate your feelings when you're hurt. No, you will do that. But once you do that, you drop it there. Hey, I really don't like how it took you so much time to do this. Please, next time try to do better, okay? Yes, and you drop it. No offense taken. You don't brood on it. You don't refer to it the next time. You drop it there. It's done. It's over. This is strange to certain people. It is alien to some people. They will drag this matter. They will drag it. How does this affect your relationship? When you are patient with the person you say you are dating, it even starts before the relationship. I know some of you guys, you ask her out today that you're asking her out. Now, you want to get answer. Oh yeah, now what do you have to say? And she has told you, okay, give me time. Let me think about it. But no, sir, you want to get the answer now. And then you start disturbing her life. She gets home every 5 minutes. So how far? Have you thought about what I said? Yeah, you know. And then you start saying all of those things you say to get into her head. And she tells you, yes, I've heard you, but give me time. No, you don't want to give time. She must answer you immediately. You see, you're not a patient person. You must learn to respect the other person's position. If she says, give me time, then give her time. If you ask her again and she says, please, I still need time, then give her some time. Why the pressure? You see, you're putting that pressure because what you're concerned about is you and what you want, not what she wants. And this goes both ways, of course, you know that, all right? It goes both ways. So, you're not in a hurry to own this person. You are my own. I've colobied you for myself. For international audience who don't know what colobi is, you have what's the word? What's the English word for colobi? You have taken control over, you have taken ownership. It can be some kind of forceful ownership self. You know, you have taken ownership of the person. That shows you are not patient. If you're patient, you won't be in a hurry to own the person. You know that I really am attracted to this girl and she fits the kind of profile of who I want to spend my life with. But she needs to get to know me. And I also need to get to know her. I'm not going to choke her with my presence. I'm not going to choke her because I want her to know that, yes, I'm really in love. All right? I'm going to be around her space, but I'll also be sensitive to her privacy. I'll be sensitive to her space. Some people don't know how to do this. You're talking with other people, they'll be hanging around, they'll be standing there, stand where you can see them, they'll wave at you, it's so rude. It's not even conscious behavior. Why? Because they say they're in love. No, coordinate yourself. Are you seeing what I'm saying? So people who do like that are not patient. That's just one part of it. Then maybe when you're now in the relationship, you see that there are certain qualities that you want this person to imbibe, but the person is taking time. Don't force them. Now you see, this person had their full lives before they met you, or his full life before he met you. Why do you think that you would change the person within 1 week or 2 weeks or 1 month or 1 year of your relationship? That is a selfish way of thinking. Give people time to unlearn certain behaviors and learn the new ones. But no, you want him or her to change now. I've told you before, don't behave like this. Why did you do it again? And she says, oh, sorry, I forgot. I will try next time. I'm not used to this. But no, you pick offense. And the next thing you are nagging at the person that, hey, you are always behaving like this. But hey, cut him or her some slack. All right? So you see, patience is very key. But if you have not learned how to be patient with your co-worker, with that new staff who joined your unit and you have to put him or her through to learn the ropes, to know how it is done. If you don't know how to be patient with that person, is it your spouse you'll be patient with? Capital No. Another show of patience is when you know that you are sexually attracted to this person, but you tell yourself, I'm not going to give into this pressure. I'm going to wait. And I'm not going to burden my spouse with the pressure for sex. Because I understand that we need to both get to know each other first. We need to know that this relationship is purposeful, that we are going to get married, and we make that marriage commitment and we get married. Then I will have all the sex I want. Sex is a beautiful thing, but it has a purpose and it has a time where it is useful. In marriage with your spouse. In marriage with your spouse. Before then, you are doing what they did not send you. It can put you in trouble. I'm serious about this. It can put you in trouble. It has put so many people already. But that's not the subject matter for today's conversation. So when you have patience, you will be able to delay sexual gratification. As a young lady, a guy is taunting you that if you don't give in to sex, he's going to break up with you. Please, you break up with him already. Don't wait for him to do you the honors. You serve him breakfast. Break up already, because it tells you what his values are. It tells you what he's looking out for. Or it's a girl who's putting pressure on the boy. I want to be sure you're a real man. I want to be sure you're a real man. What are you looking for? Go elsewhere and get that thing you're looking for. Not with the person you say you want to get married to. Don't forget, I've always said that relationships should be gotten into with the mindset of marriage in view. If it is a case of let us see how it is going, or let us see where it is leading to, keep that as dating. Dating is when you're talking with everybody. You're checking them out. It's like interview process, selection process. You are dating A, C. In that case, in that sense, you can have dates with multiple people. In other words, I'm going out with this person today, and we're still discussing. I'm also discussing with this guy. I'm also discussing with this one. I'm discussing with that one. There's no problem. There's no harm there. Nobody should lock you down anywhere. Until there is a commitment demonstrated by both of you. In other words, you have now told yourself that, okay, I want to pay attention to this one out of the several. Then you start cutting off the excesses with all of the others. The next time they tell you let's hang out, you tell them, oh, I'm not chance. You just find a way to start posting them. Why? Because you want to focus. You want to narrow down your emotional energies to one person. But again, we see where there's a challenge there, because many people refuse to do this. They want to hold all of them, be dating and be in a relationship with all of them and be getting all the benefits from left, right, center. That again is selfishness. Are you seeing? And selfishness is not love. Anyway, if somebody is patient with you, the person will be willing to delay sexual gratification until you guys are married. Very key. All right? And then when things are not going your way, you will be willing to seek to understand your partner rather than impose your own opinion on them. This is one area, I speak with people every week. I need to let you guys know. You need somebody to talk to about your relationship. Please reach out to me. If you don't know any other person you can talk to, reach out to me, because this is something I'm passionate about and I have the answers. I know what, and I have the answer. That answer you're looking for, I have it. You need to hear it from me. All right? So feel free to reach out. Let's talk. I'm saying this because a lot of people are making mistakes just because they are walking in their own wisdom, which is foolishness, because they don't know what to do. But they are just comfortable in their own space with their own thinking, and are making the same mistakes over and over and over again, and end up blaming the whole world except the one person that mattered, themselves. You see why you need to talk? So that we can shine the torchlight where it matters, and you see where the fault is and you make amends. So much for that. So that was the quality of patience. Love is patient. These are some examples of how you apply patience in your life, in your relationship with other people, and in your relationship with your spouse. The second thing it mentioned was that love is kind. Now, the quality of kindness has to do with the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. Friendly, generous, and considerate. Now, you see that there are people who only put themselves first all the time. If you get to a shop, you want to buy a bottle of drink, but there's only one bottle there, and there's another person you met there who also wants that bottle. Not everybody will say, hey, okay, no problem, give it to him. Instead, some people say, no, give it to me. They will even fight. They will drag, and I came here first. I'm the first. That's lack of being, you're not considerate. That's being inconsiderate. Consider the other person. What if perhaps he also needs it more? I think I can still do well without it. Let me check the next place. Let me defer my own gratification. But no, it is insisting on what you want all the time. That is not kindness. When you're kind, you're considerate. You think of other people. You think of helping other people. You're generous to other people. It's easy for you to part with your own earthly possession in order to empower somebody else or to help somebody else in their time of need. That is kindness. Now, this is what some people do. Because they're trying to get a girl's attention, they show acts of kindness. They buy this for her. They take her to lovely places, take her to expensive outings. By the way, if you're looking for expensive places to take babe to now, you can go to filling station, because fuel and diesel, you know the price. Anyway, that's just an aside. Alright, you go to expensive places, you go to, and you're doing all of those things just because you want to get this person's attention. And in most cases, they want to get into her pants. That is not kindness, that is selfishness. Why? Because there is an undertone, there is an ulterior motive, which is towards gratifying yourself. In the real sense, you don't care about that person. What you really care about is you and how you want to feel. Okay? So you see, some people, I tell young ladies, you see, he's very kind. He does this and does that. Doesn't even wait for me to ask. And I say, calm down. It's too early. He's looking for something. He will do anything to get it. Alright? Why am I saying this? If the person is behaving that way towards you, why not wait till you can see how he behaves towards other people? Yes. See how he responds to other people. See how he responds to his family members. See what he thinks about certain situations and what his judgment would be. Those are other things you look out for. And I say this again and again. If he is not kind to the whole world, but kind to only you, it's just a matter of time you will get served your own fair dose of unkindness. Because he's just faking it. He's just trying to get into you. He's just trying to get you to win your heart. Alright? So being kind is intentional. It's intentional. It's intentional. I want to help this person. I want to give of my own. I remember one virtue I learned from someone who I used to look up to then as a child. He could just come around the place and everybody's hungry, and he takes all of us out and says, okay, you know what do you want? Ice cream? Everybody take ice cream. And I picked that virtue. I loved it because that guy was so selfless. And I started telling myself, I want to be able to do this for somebody. I want to be able to do this. And it was a challenge I actually went to the university with. I used to tell myself that once I get into school, man, it's a thing of joy for me to tell my guys, you know what, let me buy you food. Let me buy you something. Are you hungry? Let me get you something. It was something I wanted to look forward to because I had learned it. I had picked that value from someone I was looking up to. But guess what? Some people never ever. They want to eat your own. They want to job your money. They want you to borrow them. Give me. Let me have. Do for me. Give me. But they will not share what they have. But they want to collect every other person's own. But nobody should see their own. In fact, you never know when they have money. They are always broke. Borrow me, please. I will pay you back. And they will not pay back. If you see such people, they are not kind. If you are such person, you are not kind. And you need to imbibe kindness as a quality, as a virtue. Alright, let me move on because the clock's already ticking. Alright? So that was kindness. The next point it said is that love does not envy. It is not jealous. Now, this is different from that quality of guarding your own spouse jealousy. Alright? Now, that jealousy there is different from this one. This jealousy is the one that makes you feel resentful when things are working for somebody else. You feel angered, you feel offended. It pain you in pidgin English. Somebody is making progress and it pain you. Why is it paining you? Why? That's jealousy. In fact, it gets to the point where people start wishing the other person bad. They start wishing the person evil. Let him just break his leg. Let him just, evil. They start swearing for the person. That's bad. That's very wrong. That's witchcraft. You are evil if you are like that. Okay? Love does not envy. Instead, it rejoices with other people. You and your friends are expecting admission. They get the admission and you don't get it. You rejoice with them. You don't envy them. You don't go back looking at them and taking offense and wondering, is she any special than myself? Is he any better? Why are things just working for him and not working for me? No. That's not someone who has love. Alright? You're not content with your state, with what you have and where you are. You want the other person's own. That is wrong. Let me read on. It says, desire to have a quality possession or something that belongs to someone else. You want it. And it's not that it's just inspiring you to want to get your own, but you want it in a way that that person no longer enjoys it, but you will be the one enjoying it. In other words, you want to deprive that person of that pleasure, that joy, so that you would be the only one enjoying it and they would not be enjoying it. That's a jealous behavior. And you would find these things when you are relating with your wannabe spouse or with your spouse already. Okay, that's why we tell people dating is a time to discuss. It's not a time to bayansh. If you don't know what that means, check the dictionary. It's not a time for romantic engagements and sex. It's time to discuss. Get to know each other better. We cannot overemphasize this thing. Won't you have sexual attachment, attraction? Yes, you would have. But what should you do? Manage it. Control it. It is for a time. If you wait for that time, you would enjoy yourself. Manage it. Okay? If you have already gone down this path severally, you are a sex machine, no problem. There is always a time for what's the word now? For a fresh start. Alright? You acted the way you acted because you didn't know better. But now that you're hearing that it can be done differently, you can actually start applying these now. You can start delaying gratification. And in one of our first sessions, I said something, and this is not an advice that some people think somebody should be giving Christians or someone who is a pastor should be saying. I said to young people, learn how to call it what it is. If what you want from this person is just sex, don't be confusing yourself that we are in a relationship. You people are sex buddies. Because the problem starts from when you don't even know what you're doing and you think that sex will graduate into love. It does not happen that way. In a few cases, some people find that happen, but hey, that's not the foundation. That's not the right formula. Okay, and I'm saying this because I know not everybody will hold body. We say hold body, you say no. Okay, if you don't want to hold body, that thing you are doing, don't call it love because it is not love. Calling it love is what will mess you up. Okay, call it any other thing, but don't call it love. Just say you want to calm down, you want to enjoy yourself, whatever you call it that, but it's not love. When you start calling it love is when you're setting your heart up for destruction or for heartbreak. Okay, so I'm not endorsing that, but I know people cannot control themselves, but you can. Actually, you can. I'm just trying to keep it real here. Okay, what I advocate is delay sexual gratification, postpone it. If a man really wants to get married to you, but he says he's not going to get married because you are not giving into sex, like I said earlier, you leave him because he's not serious. How can that be the quality that is the condition, the criterion for his getting married to you? How can that be it? What would you have to serve him when you get married? He should look forward to it. He should look forward to something he's going to get on the wedding night. Let him have something to look forward to. Don't go throwing it up. And the Bible says, don't give your precious treasures to the pigs. Don't give your pearls to swines. Don't just throw it around for cheap. No. If he's serious, if he means it, let him wait. And you, if you're the lady, also wait. Because once you start getting involved, you start messing up your ability to reason clearly. I don't know why I keep emphasizing this thing today. I'm sure it's because somebody needs to really hear this. Alright. So love does not envy. Learn to celebrate with other people who are celebrating. Now my time is really gone. It's really gone. Let me take the next point and I'll close there. Love is not boastful. Okay? Someone is boastful when they talk with excessive pride. They're always drawing attention to themselves and to their accomplishments and what they have done, what they have, their skills, their abilities. No, it's not a good quality. It's not a good quality. if you are all these, all right, you should rather be humble. But no, don't forget that boastfulness and all of these things are part of what we identified earlier as works of the flesh. You see, and that is why I said, let me just round it up because it's time already. So I have like 3 minutes by my time. Okay. Now you would see that really what the qualities of love are quite different, very different. In fact, some are opposite to what the qualities of your natural tendencies are, your natural self. What you want naturally, what naturally appeals to you and begs for your attention. You will discover that the qualities of love are different from that. That is why you need to pay attention to love. That is why it is willful and deliberate. That is why. All right, and I will stop here for now. Next week I'll continue with the remaining qualities, and then I will get into something really beautiful that you don't want to miss, and I call it the love of the Father. Many people are having relationship issues in their lives today because they did not experience love from a father. They don't know what the Father's love is. But I want to share that with you, and I will give you a chance for those who missed that, who never experienced that, who don't know what it is. You will have the opportunity to experience what it is, and you'll see how it completely changes your life and empowers you to be a better person, a more wholesome person, and someone who has the ability now to exude these qualities of love from your own inside. It will flow from you easily, more than you have struggled in the past. All right, so let me cap it there today, and thank you so much for joining us on this episode today. God bless you. I hope you have enjoyed yourself, and I hope it's been a good use of your time. Thank you for joining us today.